Sure.
Man, you know the face, you know the name. You're tuned into the World's World's Podcast, Talk Ain't Cheap Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mr. The Movie, Cletus Real Talk. In the traditional Talk Ain't Cheap fashion, I got a guest here with me. And this is a special person, man. I knew this man for a very long time. Very long time. This is like someone I definitely consider a brother to me. So, brother, please introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. The name is Efe Akpovwa, a.k.a. Train to Go, a.k.a. Hefe. You know, I'm here. What's up? Talk to me.
Bro, how you been, bro? First of all, like, I haven't seen you. I seen you now that I realized that I seen you probably like a couple weeks ago. Before that, I saw you like 2 years ago. And then before that, I ain't seen you for like 7, 8 years.
Dang.
Yeah, it's been a while, bro.
That's been a minute. Sometimes, you're first, because last time I saw you was at Hoolie's party.
Yeah.
We're vibing. Shout out to Hoolie. Shout out to the Brody. Yeah, it's been a minute. I think, it's just moving and grooving, living life. Sometimes, you get so caught up just living that you forget how quickly these times pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I've been good, man. Just really taking things a day at a time, one step at a time, one move at a time, just playing the card and see where it goes.
I feel that. So, a lot of people don't know. I met you. Well, first things first, where you from?
All right, so where I'm from?
Man, just talk.
All right, so I'm from Nigeria, born and raised. I'm Delta State.
Okay.
I'm half Urobo, half Yoruba.
Okay.
For those of you actually don't know that. Yeah, well now you know. But I moved over to the States with my family in like '03. I was like 8 or 9. And then I moved into Long Island. Then from Long Island to the BX. Then from BX, it was like I was just moving all over till I finally found home. Uptown, Gun Hill, Bronx, and yeah, that's where I'm from.
That's major. I mean, so the first time I met you was at the airport in Buffalo.
You're right. Oh, that's true. It was like Damon College orientation week or some weekend or something, and I think I was about to get on a JetBlue or something, and I just see somebody just roll up on me like, "Yo, I'm on Nigeria." And I looked at him like, yo, whose man's is this? But it wasn't like on some like, oh, like, who is this? I was just more so confused. And I'm like, wait, oh, he's from the lands. I'm like, oh, what's good, bro? So, and then we just been locked in ever since.
Yeah, I was like, bro, you Nigerian?
Facts. How did you even know I was Nigerian?
Because you had a giant Nigerian necklace on.
Oh, yeah. Facts.
The beaded necklaces.
Oh, yeah. Facts. I had that. I was repping hard.
Yeah, so I was like, bro, you Nigerian, I'm Nigerian, it's active, and you in Buff, bro. Boy, it's about to get crazy, because I'm not going to hold you. It was the time of UB's student orientation, too, that same weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, we was already turned up. Like, all the white girls was low-key fiending. Like, we was really active.
Dr. Umar would not
approve
of that statement.
But you know how that was, UB first opening weekend? It was crazy, bro. It was crazy. Facts. For orientation weekend. And then we got mad close, bro.
Facts.
I'll ask you this question. What was it like being like a man at Damon? Because, bro, there was mad gal, no man on the campus. I felt like Damon was an all-girl school. Damon and Madai, all-girl schools, low-key, high-key.
If I'm not mistaken, Damon actually started as an all-women's college. So how was it for me? I would say for me it was pretty cool. Like, it was copacetic, everything. I never really got into a lot of mixiness or got into a lot of mess with a lot of people, so I was typically out the way. I was on the move and out the way. Being like with the majority of women, it definitely gave me, I was fortunate enough to have genuine relationship with women that really gave me a different perspective on sometimes how women think, on how they view the world or how they're perceived. Other times it came with a lot of mixiness. But that's a story for another day.
I mean, this is Talk Ain't Cheap, bro. Today is the other day, bro. You got something to say? We gonna talk about it today. So I ain't gonna hold you. I love Damon, but yeah. I love Damon because of you, bro.
Swear,
bro. Because if it wasn't for you, I would not have met nobody at Damon. That's a fact. I would have met the Frenchies, Taj's,
Shout out to Frenchie,
Crystals,
Taj,
the Joyces,
Crystal, Joyce, what
everybody,
up?
Sassy, like
Sassy.
I wouldn't have met none of them. None of them.
Damn, I never even looked at it like that.
And those are my people type shit. So yeah, bro, like I appreciate you because you told me to pull up to Damon one time. And I pulled up to Damon at one time. I don't remember if my bro drove or we walked from South Campus.
You slid with like I think that's when I met Ebenezer.
I slid with a couple people that day.
Yeah, it was a squad. It was a UB squad. But yeah, ever since then, motion
locked in. What was Buffalo like for you?
Buffalo was like. Let me really think about this question. To me, Buffalo was like training camp.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a long training camp. It was just like a lot of learning on the move and on the go. You know, being a kid from the Bronx, moving 8 hours for school all the way to Buffalo, and now I'm by myself. I really had to learn how to really be independent, stand on my own 2 feet, and I'm really thankful for that. Buffalo also was a space where I really started trying to figure out my identity as a man, how I want to move and how I want to operate. And it was really like, it's just a mixture. It was an experience, bro. Like I met some dope people. I was fortunate enough to have friends who were older than me at times that could really steer the way, like do this, don't do that. You know, shout out to Jamal, Wolf, Sherm, like some of these older brothers that really helped me like have some real crucial conversations at times that gave me perspective as a young man where I didn't have that because my brothers back home was 8 hours away. So they were the closest thing to having older siblings and having guidance. So I will say that for sure. Even though they may not have looked at it as that, but some of the things they were speaking to me about really helped that. On the other side, I think it was like a really great networking ground, building genuine friendships. The few genuine friendships, because I will say with Buffalo, I hope I'm not going on a rant here. I felt
talk, bro.
I feel as if like I could have done more to build more genuine, deeper connections. Because I feel as if there was I could have had better relationships with people. Because at times it feels as if some of the relationships created there were only created due to proximity. Mm-hmm. And that may not be a bad thing at times, but at times where, it just goes to say you just really have to know the position you play in people's lives. Because for me, I'm a very, I loved Buffalo, but at times I felt as if some of the relationships were superficial. And not from a bad place, but just more so like, damn, we could have done more effort. I could have put in more effort to ensure that this was a more authentic relationship than just surface level conversations.
I felt like it was because Buffalo was cold.
Right, that's a fact.
It's cold.
Ice cold.
People was just trying to make it on by for real, but in any way, shape, or possible. I don't know. Buffalo was weird, but I would say looking at it now, I feel like New York City's ran by Buffalo.
That's a fact.
Like everyone, like a lot of people who's really popping in the city, went to Buffalo.
That's a fact.
Or if they didn't go to Buffalo, they had to stop through Buffalo.
Listen, if you're talking Sunni scene, and if you wanted to get active or you was generating motion, Buffalo and Albany were one of the 2 main stops you had to stop by to get active. That's a fact. Whether you disagree or agree, that's just a fact.
Albany was the Bronx, though. That's how I felt. I felt Albany was just the Bronx. So for me, it was like, all right, we stopping in Albany. Like, you got to think, mad people from Albany went back home during the weekends.
That's true.
When you in Buffalo, bro, where the hell are you going?
Right. You probably going to Albany to get filled for what the Bronx or the city really going for. Like, bro, that's the closest thing.
If you in Buffalo, you're not leaving Buffalo. You're going to Toronto. You might go to Rochester, but you're not leaving Buffalo for real.
Yeah, like Albany might be like
you're not seeing your family.
Yeah, that's a fact. Like people who was going back to the city regularly, I don't know how they did it.
Because Albany 2 hours away, so people legit driving back and forth to the city. Bro, in Buffalo, bro, we was not seeing our family, bro.
It was clip. That's why I said it was like a long training camp. Like legit, it felt like I was in that. It felt like that 2020 NBA bubble.
Yes.
No cap.
Yes. That's exactly what I was trying to get at. It was the 2020 bubble. But like, if you could make it in Buff, bro, you can make it anywhere. And I think that's what we're seeing. Like, shout out to Fire Skull, shout out to Mike West, KO, Yusuf, obviously Jimmy DeVito,
Mike West, KO. What's the some guys right there, man?
Shout out to Jeezy, Sounds of Reality.
What, Fire Skull? You said
Fire Skull, definitely Fire Skull, DJ Wire in Dallas.
Hooli Boy.
Hooli, definitely can't forget Hooli.
You feel me?
Who else is there? There's others. There's a lot others. We have a lot of people that's nurses and doctors too.
You said DJ Reality.
Sounds of Reality. Definitely.
You gotta get that in.
Definitely. So I mean, like, there's a lot of people I feel like in Buff that.
Oh, yo, how we forget Hazel House, Toya Mendez, the Grunge Project.
Definitely.
We're bugging.
Yeah.
Because let's talk about it. Because
if we talking clothing, that's a whole different.
Because we talking clothing, like,
yeah, you got to shut out.
You really couldn't talk clothing, especially if you went to Buff State. Yo, shout out to T. I'm about to give you flowers right now. Like, if you was talking fashion in Buff State and you ain't mentioned a Grunge Project, you were losing. You're bugging, respectfully.
The best fashion show, the best fashion shows ever.
That's a fact.
And like, then we're not even talking like the Greeks. We're not talking like
we
Buffalo.
Get to that.
Buffalo was really one of them ones, bro. I don't. You know, it's weird. Like, people tell me all the time, like, that was a legendary time, and I don't. Like, it didn't hit me because it just was something we were just doing. It wasn't like we were thinking about like being legendary.
You was just living life. And I feel like that's where the beauty of most creative things comes from, because when you're not looking to create a movement and you're just trying to live and be authentic, that's literally how things just blossom, you know? Like, when we started doing, like, if I even can speak about this, like when I told you how we just started this organization called Join the Movement, where like Join the Movement NYC, where we were really just focused on building community. We just did that because we felt like, okay, maybe do like a little run club in the Bronx. Maybe few people show up. We did it in honor of Suicide Prevention Month, and almost like 30 plus people showed up. So it just goes to show a lot of times when you just are genuine with just doing things, you just living life. You're not trying to like live an aesthetic. Everything just moves.
Yeah, Buffalo was special. Buffalo was special.
Shout out to the Buff, man.
So now
716.
Yeah, all right. All right. So now where you at, bro? You left Buff. What, you graduated, obviously.
Yep.
Congratulations. People usually don't graduate in college in Buff.
Right,
they don't really graduate.
By the grace of God, you got up out of there.
What'd you get your major in?
I got my bachelor's in health and fitness performance, and I had a double minor in business and entrepreneurship.
Dope. So what are you doing now?
So now, that question really depends on the day of the week. But in my 9 to 5, I work in health and higher education, where I manage the employer relations department and talent strategy for one of the studies department here in one of these college campuses in CUNY. And then outside of that, I operate a fitness brand called Train to Go Fitness, and also Join the Movement NYC. Outside of that, I'm a creative, big creative. I'm a choreographer, professionally trained as well, and I write music. Yeah, just living life, bro. That's just where I'm at. I'm just doing things that I feel are fun for me, and I'm just trying to put myself in a better position emotionally, spiritually, and financially, and not just for the sake of being a businessman, for just being a man. So I'm just in a space where I just want to put myself in a position where I could put other people's in positions. But it first got to start with me, though.
Nah, I feel that. So what has this process been like post-grad for you?
Post-grad, man. Post-grad has been an experience. From graduating college, and then exiting a long-term relationship I was in. So that was a whole transition in of itself, because it was like to go through graduating college, trying to figure things out, and now as a young man, and while being in a relationship, then things don't pan out, and then you leave that long-term relationship. So now you're going through two double transitions. Nonetheless, persevere through that, learn from your mistakes. It's just been a learning experience through the good and the bad. Like, I appreciate both experiences because I'm so much more discerning of how I move with myself, because now it has allowed me to place myself in a space of mind where I understand that majority of the things that are occurring, that I'm experiencing, is a reflection of my choices and efforts. So now that I'm understanding that I'm really so much more in control than the things that are occurring, it just allows me to be in a space of like, it is what it is, because I'm the one riding the boat. Pause. You feel me? But yeah, it's just been an experience for me, man. It's been everything. Like, I don't know how else to say it. It's been everything. It's been good. It's been bad. It's been ugly. Still through it all. Thank God.
No, I feel that. I ain't gonna hold you. I feel that completely because like just the way like life happens to kind of pan out. Like you don't really think about like for example, like who would have thought like the kids that was dancing and buff and partying and just being outside now are like in positions where they actually like make real differences.
Man, listen. I ain't even listen. To even shout to that. The fact that some of the people that I used to watch on TV, that I can actually say I've worked with them, is crazy to me. Like, I used to grow up watching the Fugees, and now I did, like, years ago, I ended up working with Wyclef. I can actually say the song. Like, it's crazy when I'm in the parties and I hear songs that I've actually been in. I be like, oh, unavailable. Oh, yeah. I was like, it's crazy. Or, like, Joanna. It's like, for me, it's like, yo, like, God, like, it makes me realize you really have to think big with your life, because I remember when I finally accomplished those things, it's like, okay, now what? You finally met that artist in your head, you've been in the music video, okay, now what? What's next? So it just makes you think like, damn, like in this life, you really just got to have a huge imagination, because you never know what life could really take you.
That's real. I feel that.
Yeah, shout out to Hooli too. Shout out to Hooli. Shout out to all the homies. Shout out to Kevin, KP. Shout out to La, Sydney, Sylvan. Shout out to Justin. I'm naming the whole Buffalo dance crew right now. Shout out to Shells, Room 113. You know what it is. Shout out to everybody, man. Crystal, cause oh yeah, y'all don't know, Cletus got the moves too. My man's got the moves too.
Nah, I was really a dancer at the time. That joint's crazy to me, because now it's like I'll go to events and people be like, I don't know if people don't know who I am or if I'm like out of sight, out of mind, but they be like, yo, I didn't know you can dance. Like, I didn't know you can move. And I'm like, they're like, for a big nigga, you can really dance. And I'm like, am I really a big nigga now?
A big nigga.
All I got is gut. I got a little gut, but I ain't no big nigga.
Yo, big is crazy. That's like when they like nowadays, like I be hooping. Them 19, 20 years be like, yo, Unc. Excuse me?
Yo, OG.
Unc? OG. What are you talking about, bro? OG, relax. Well, yeah, listen, my man got the moves. Y'all better start playing.
Yeah, nah, people tell me I need to get on TikTok and start dancing again.
Yeah, not even dancing. I think you would do well on platforms that allows you to just have conversations, because you've definitely been someone that's always been involved in having just real authentic conversations. That's one thing I can say about you. I think like you would eat on TikTok. Like you would kill on TikTok for sure.
That's love, bro. That's love. I appreciate you. So now, do you still dance, or like are you more focused on like Train to Go?
I still look. Here's the thing. Like, I've been dancing since I was a kid. People may not even know this. Like, I've been like my mama danced, my sister danced. Like, I grew up on Nigerian, South African music. Like, I'm always a dancer. Like, even to this day, I still dance, even if I'm not doing gigs. Like, to me, dancing is something like breathing to me. Like, it's like, to me, like, dancing is like, I don't need to get a gig to dance. Like, I might even finish this podcast and go do some dancing drills. It's kind of like, for me, I look at it like kind of like a hooper. Like, it don't got to be a game going on for me to go get some shots up. That's how I look at it. So, in terms of professionally, I would say I haven't been intentionally doing it lately, pursuing it lately, but I have been practicing from the sense of a professional and just resharpening my skills. No, I haven't been lately. I think I've been so focused on growing Train to Go, and I've been focusing like incorporating things that I already am into my brand and what I do, because dancing is fitness as well.
So, what would you say your brand is?
My brand overall really is a fitness brand that is focused around lifestyle and community, because that's the reason why it's called Train to Go, because the number 2 represents more than one person. Go means there's a destination, there's movement. Training means there's preparation, you're doing something regularly. This is why I call it Train to Go, because I grew up in the area where it was like, I'm from the Bronx, Uptown, Gun Hill. Let's just get that clear. From '08 to '12, if you know, you know, it was it was active. So I grew up in an area where like people really, this is not something I came up with. People in my neighborhood just always say like, I'm Trained to Go, like I'm T2G. I took that mentality of the environment that we grew up in and I applied it to fitness, where it was like, if you already prepared, you don't got to get ready. It's kind of like the mentality of Kobe, where it's like, I took these shots 1,000 times already. It could be 2-3 people in front of me. I'm going to shoot it like you're not even there. So that's the mentality I took towards fitness, whereas like I'm building that kind of warrior mentality, that mentality of just treating your health like a lifestyle and not treating your health like an aesthetic, because a lot of people just want to look good for health and fitness, and they don't understand a lot of the other things health and fitness can help them channel, like their self-confidence and image, help be a place of therapy for you, help you with just other things. So I think it's just focused around that, and then building community, because at the end of the day, isolation, that's not where growth happens. Growth happens when you have community and accountability. That's why it's called tool, because you need a partner, you need people around you. All that is lonely at the top, I don't believe it. If it's lonely at the top, that's because you took the wrong people.
That's deep.
You feel me? Like, it should never be lonely at the top when you got the people that's meant to be there with you. If it's lonely at the top, you are in the wrong environment. That's the wrong top to be in. So that's just how the mentality I took with it. And building community, because people need to understand what does health and wellness look like for them from a lifestyle perspective. It's one thing to tell somebody do 4 sets of 12 or eat apples, eat this. But if they don't understand what this plays out like for them in their day-to-day life, you're just giving them information. And the problem is, everyone thinks all they need is information to get results. No. Information is just the first steps. So, yeah.
So if it's not just information, what would you say is the next level to just doing or getting information?
The next step to information is implementation. You get information you want, but if you don't do nothing with it, it's pointless. Like when people reach out to me and I create workout plans for them, or like, what's the best this, what's the best that? That's the wrong perspective, because I can give you the information. This is one of the reasons why I do free consultations, because I know most people don't know what to do with information. It's kind of like, I forgot what it's called, paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, analysis paralysis.
Yeah, from me, because it's so much information, but it's just pointless if you don't understand the wisdom behind it. After information is wisdom. Wisdom is understanding them when and where and why and how of that information. And that's the thing with health and wellness. Everyone knows you should eat a salad or eat an apple, but no one really understands why that makes sense or how that applies to their everyday life. So my goal and responsibility is to connect those missing gaps. How do we get this information to the general population in a way that is well received and they could see how it can really impact their life, not just from I look good with my clothes off, but how can it really impact my family?
Yeah, I need that part, because if I just focus on looking good with my clothes off, I will be concerned. But if it's more than that, I think I could get into with that.
Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with trying to look good with your clothes off. I'm a huge advocate of that. Please, definitely, because that aids with the self-confidence. But what I've noticed at times is that typically isn't a strong enough motivator, and you shouldn't even be looking for motivation. You should actually be looking for discipline, because motivation means you are led by feelings. This health and wellness does not become a lifestyle. Only becomes a lifestyle once you're past being led by your feelings. Whereas that, yes, I don't feel like going today. However, I'm going to go. Being able to maneuver past your feelings, that is the hardest part. That is literally the art of making it a lifestyle. Being able to maneuver past your feelings. Because what happens is life is going to start lifing, and now you have to learn, how do I manage life and manage priorities while still trying to keep this accountability to myself. That's really all it is when it comes to the lifestyle part. The gym is the easy part. The lifestyle part is the tricky one.
So when you said the lifestyle part is the tricky one, you talking like diet?
Managing your emotions. That's the first part. Because what I've learned is that diet for sure, but not just diet, but your relationship with that diet, your relationship with that food, your relationship with that behavior, your relationship with that thought process you've generated and cultivated years upon years. Because what happens is people typically have an emotional relationship with their food and behavior, whether it's because it's something they've done from a kid, it's something they've been learned. Like, for example, perfect example is if your mama, when you were a kid, whenever you cried, gave you ice cream, now that has become a comfort food for you. Mm-hmm. You have not created a psychological relationship with the ice cream. Mm-hmm. So now whenever you're stressed out, you might go start eating ice cream. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's about really addressing the root cause, because whatever you're eating and your habits and behaviors, those are symptoms. Get into the root cause. And then I know I'm starting to sound like a therapist a little bit, but the lifestyle part has a lot of psychological, because why? You're changing your behavior. So you have to change your mindset. So we do have to talk a little bit about the psyche and the psychological, because that's where a lot of the behavior modification is going to occur.
I can see you went to a really good institution.
I don't know if it was a really good institution. It's just like I'm a sponge. Like, you could put me in a desert old phone booth. I'm gonna learn something. That's just how I've always been. Like, because one, I wasn't born in this country. I came here when I was like 9. I had moved from place to place. So by nature, I always had to learn how to pick things up quickly because we was moving. So it was just like, I think just being in those type of situations kind of just helped me hone my skill, which is why when you ask me like, how's everything? I'm like, everything is everything, man. Good, bad, and ugly.
Because you're always ready to go no matter what.
Hello, T2G, Mr. Greenlight.
Mr. Greenlight is crazy.
Mr. Greenlight with a mean right.
That's crazy. So, okay, that's real. That's real. I see you also do a lot of boxing videos.
That's what I said, Mr. Greenlight with a mean right. Yeah.
I want to set up a boxing match between you.
I already know where you
and my bro Hugo. I think that boxing match will go crazy. You versus Hugo. Yeah, both into fitness. Shout out to Hugo.
Shout out to Hugo, bro. How you doing, bro? Yo, I gotta pull up to one of your army. I gotta pull up to your army fitness sessions. Yo, if y'all in Manhattan, if you trying to go into like a community, like a fitness type of group session, shout out to the man Hugo Army. Check him out, man, for real.
Yeah, I want to see that boxing match, bro.
I gotta get right though. I gotta definitely sharpen up. But yeah, listen, I'm always down to get some work in for sure.
That'll be fire. Okay, cool. So let's talk about Join the Movement.
Yeah, what's up?
So what's that about, and why did you decide to start that? Well, first things first, what is it?
Okay, so first, I want to shout out my co-founder Bimbola. Shout out to Bim, because she definitely was a part of this process of this creation. So Join the Movement started with a phone conversation. So the homie Toya Mendez, aka Hazel House, aka the Grunge Project, and all that, she called me randomly on like a Tuesday, Wednesday evening, like 9:30, 10 p.m. I was like, bro, I went to this run club and, I see what they doing. And it was just like, it just gave me this idea, like, like whatever they're doing, like I feel as if like this could be done in the Bronx. Like, why don't we have something like this? And she was like, and just knowing you and like what you went to school for, your experience and what you already have on your resume, I feel as if like this would be a great way to just build community. And I felt so that way too, because it's funny, she called me having that conversation because I was in a space where I wanted to, I'm trying to grow, working on growing Train to Go, not just from a one-on-one coaching, but I really want to build community. You know, it's one thing to just train people on a one-on-one level, but how do you get to people building community? Because not everybody just wants to be in the gym. People sometimes, they want to get active, but what they're really looking for is for a space for other people to just be community and relate and talk. So the fact that she even mentioned this, I felt like, okay, a run club could be a great way just to really start extending being of service to the community. So we just started it. She already went to a couple of these run clubs. So Toya is literally just leading the way in terms of like, yo, you got to have this. Maybe you get a WhatsApp group, create a flyer. You got to find a location that you can consistently use. Do this, do that. So after we kind of figured out those ideas a little bit, she was like, are you going to do this by yourself? And then I just thought about it like, yo, I just met this young woman like a month ago named Bim, and we've been looking to try and work together because we've been shooting content, fitness content together. Maybe this would be a great way for us to just collab. So I reached out to her like, yo, Bim, long story short, I'm trying to do this in the Bronx because I feel as if like us as Bronx residents always have to leave the Bronx for social events and gatherings and building community. We always go into Brooklyn, Manhattan, and no disrespect to the other boroughs, but a lot of times, maybe sometimes we just want to stay where we at, you know, and why can't we have that sort of community where we're from? And she loved the idea, and we put heads together, did our first event, like $100 VPs, and we got over 30 people showing up. I was like, oh, okay, this is something. And then we realized we didn't just want it to be a running event. We wanted it to be like a movement because we don't just run. Like, as you can know, like I'm a dancer. I've been boxing since high school. Like, I wanted it to be where maybe you don't like running, you got bad knees. Okay, we could create events around boxing that could be more engaging. So instead of join the run, we said join the movement because we're really trying to create a movement in the Bronx and spread it all over New York City.
So what about the Bronx did you feel like was so important that y'all did it here? That was it just because it wasn't here before, or what was going on in the Bronx that y'all really all felt that it was something that was necessary for it to be here?
Because the Bronx is always overlooked. Like when people think social activities, they don't think, yo, let me go slide to the X. You know, and I'm a proud Bronx person. Like, I'm from the X, respectfully, every day, all day. You know, so me as someone being a proud person from the Bronx, and I always dislike when people mention the Bronx, they look at us with like disgust, like we're like the forgotten child, stepchild. Like they just look at us crazy. They don't think there's nothing good when people think of the Bronx, and that always bothered me. And then I've always saw like why all these events are always happening in Brooklyn and Manhattan. Like why the Bronx never has nothing. Like, I want to be able to just pull up to a Bronx event. Like, I want to have that sense of community Brooklyn has. And I'm not even speaking from a place of envy. It's just more so like, I see we're lacking. And me as a proud resident of the X, I feel as if I could do something about it. So I did it.
I feel that. That's kind of how I feel about Staten Island. The only difference is like,
oh, yeah, I ain't going to lie. We be
I just leave
that's how, yeah, y'all be catching it. I'm not gonna go lie.
I don't know why people hate on Staten Island.
Nah, shout out to us because y'all birthed the Woo, so we can never take that from you.
I mean, shout out to the Woo, but I feel like Staten Island has a lot more to offer than just the Woo.
Okay,
like
put us on.
I mean, Staten Island, I feel like it's just a vibe. It's a woodlands kind of energy, swamp land, but it's nice. You can find good parking.
Okay.
You know, you got good places to go in terms of the mall, you know.
True.
Go to the Empire Outlets.
I never been to the mall. I heard y'all mall was valid, though.
We got a valid mall. Got a lot of good food places. Italian food is busting. Got a couple good Jamaican spots. We got Shawnee's Kitchen, a top 50 restaurant in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Come
I didn't
on.
even know that. I didn't
Soul
even know that.
food.
Okay.
And all that. So we got Shawnee's house. My mom is there. She has one of the few
Hey, don't
black...
your mom got a store?
Yeah, she got... Shout out to Peace International Market. 3240 Richmond Terrace.
Okay.
Staten
Hello.
Island, New York.
Uh-huh.
One of the few in the entire city woman-owned, black-owned delis, bodegas in the city.
Come on, man.
Shout out to my mama. So she's doing what she's doing in the community. Obviously, I'm a son of the soil. I'm a son of the city. I feel like when they got to talk about Staten Island, they got to really put Cletus in the conversation, even though I've been mad humble these last couple of years.
No. Stop all that humble. If it's facts, it's facts.
I'm just saying.
If it's facts, it's facts. If people get upset or feel away, that's tough. Respectfully, you know, with I'm not even saying it. Just I feel as if sometimes, like, we have to get to a space where it's not that you're being cocky, but you are. If you're stating a fact and it's a fact, and people don't want to honor that, that should be more of a question. Like, why don't you like what I'm saying and you know it's true? Why does that bother you? Because listen, like, because in Buffalo, Cletus was jacking SI. I did not know about SI. He was putting SI on the map for sure.
That's love, bro. That's love. So yeah, I see what you mean. Like, you know, they only talk about like Manhattan, Harlem, Brooklyn out here. Sometimes, and then Queens got their own community. But when you talk about the Bronx, it's always something negative.
Yep.
Or like talk about drill.
It's always gra gra boom boom like
yeah.
They act like we just doing all of that. It's like, nah.
Like they make it sound like all part of Brooklyn is like, I mean, the Bronx is like Gotham City.
Like, exactly. They make it sound like we're all just like we're not every one of us ended up being
greasy niggas.
Yeah, not every one of us ended up being a product of our environment. Like, yes, we're from that environment, we're from that air and that culture, but some of us chose a different path.
Yeah, I feel it.
You feel me?
So, join the movement, building that up. Y'all was on BronxNet.
Yes. BronxNet. Shout out to BronxNet. Shout out to Dr. Bob Lee, Stephen Powell, the whole production team out there for really having us out on their platform for their Monday show open. You know, they interviewed us because they heard about our event and the work we were doing. So they gave us an opportunity to get on their platform and just talk about the work we're doing.
So what's next for you, bro? What's the next move? What else are you trying to accomplish in these next couple of years?
It's funny you say, I don't know why. I just thought about the pinky of the brain.
Yeah.
Take over the world.
Yeah.
Honestly, what's next is... Honestly, like, what's next is work. Like, I'm someone that takes comfort in work, meaning that regardless of what's going on, I'm just gonna get to work regardless. Like, so for me, what's next is, I got something I'm working on with Hugh Capital.
Okay.
Shout out to Hugh Capital, Juju on the scene, Magic. What's up, man? Nicole, everybody, man. Listen, shout out to the whole Hugh Capital fam. I got something with them in the works right now for their event on November 9th, Men Deserve Flowers. Make sure y'all go on their page.
Men Deserve Flowers?
Yeah, Men Deserve Flowers. That's a vibe.
Ramel said that, he said, this nigga been doing this since Damon, I hate his voice change. His voice changing everything he do.
Yo, that code switch, man. You feel me? Like, you gotta like keep it real. You gotta keep it. What I gotta say? You gotta keep it P. You feel me?
So you're not afraid to code switch?
Absolutely not. Like, you gotta understand. I'm a West African that got moved to a whole different country. I had to code switch.
Yeah.
Like, that was always like a coping mechanism. Like, I definitely had to code switch. I am not afraid to code switch.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I've always tried to keep it real all the time. And I've realized now that might have not been the best way to go about things. But at least I don't deal with as much bullshit though. It's just more like people really might just shut me out of opportunities all the way through. Versus like, oh, he might like me, might not like me, or she might like me, might not like me. Like, they might mess with me and want me to be a part of this, but only on their terms.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, and it's like with me code switching, it's not like I'm changing like how I'm not changing my values and things, thought process. It's just I'm discerning enough to understand there is a time and place for certain contexts of certain conversations, and a time and place for certain vocabulary. So because I understand this, and plus I went to a PWI, I have no choice but to code switch. It's like, and
I don't know.
no,
about
I'm
that
not saying I
one.
have no choice but to code switch, but the positions that you're placed in when you go to a PWI, and not code switching from a perspective of, oh, I'm trying to, as quote unquote, act white, but you have to understand there's certain things me as a black man about my culture that I understand they're not going to understand. So I have to really be conservative in how I present that, because I know there's already a certain perspective being thrown upon me. So that's my mentality with code switching. I'm not going in there like, hey, Bob, how you doing, pal? Like,
Hey there, buddy.
hey there, buddy. Slow there, buckaroo. No, we're not doing none of that. You feel me?
Nah, I feel it. Cause I mean, we could touch this topic real quick, like being black at a PWI. I felt like sometimes I'm not mad that like I took the path that I took, being like a prominent figure in like the black community, but sometimes I do wish that like I wasn't only just hanging out with black people. Because there's times like I feel like there's people I could have met, different energies, different vibes, like, you know what I mean? Like I was cool with people that weren't black, but I wasn't really hanging out with people outside of like that wasn't really in the black community. Like all the girls was coming to my parties and they'll come to my vibes. They were mostly black girls. A good amount of Spanish girls too, but they were like New York City Spanish girls. And then like shorties from upstate, but I wasn't getting like the Asian girls coming to the spot. So sometimes I'll be wondering like, what's that about? Like, why not? Because I felt like I could have done like bigger numbers. Like I could have been doing like not Buffalo Live. What's that? Do you remember where we did Reggae vs. Soca at in Niagara Falls? That big spot.
Bro, I don't listen. I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. Summer Buffalo parties was a blur.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing.
What? Some of them parties was a blur. We're not even gonna get to CV. Oh,
shout out to CV, bro.
This is CV.
Y'all was really like throwing parties in apartments.
Listen.
You know who threw some really good parties? That man Wolf.
Oh.
That man Wolf throws some really good parties.
Yo, he wasn't having yo. So yeah, for those, that's my roommate. Yeah. Shout out to Wolf, man. I ain't speak to Wolf in a minute. Yeah, Wolf.
Do some really good parties.
Listen. I can't say too much. Those parties were monumental. If you were there, you were there, bro. If you were there, you were there. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's how I met most of the Damon Gale. When I showed them who got the top 5 waistline in the whole city, I showed them what a top 5 waistline felt like.
Top 5 waistline.
They didn't know what to do with themselves.
They're there with the TP bottle, with the big Taylor port. Oh my god! If you know, you know. It's the TP.
Oh man, nah, we had some really good times. Okay, cool. Before we go, let's talk relationships.
Ooh.
What is dating like for you in the space that you're in now? Being back home, being back in the Bronx, being in the city. Mm-hmm. What has dating been like for you?
Dating's been cool. Like, I don't really have any, like, dating's been cool, copacetic. I don't think, however, I think dating overall, in general, nowadays is just very superficial. People, I don't know if there's just a low attention span, or people, I think maybe just everyone is just very career oriented. So people are not really looking to like really sit there and cultivate a genuine connection. And that's on both ends, men and women, because it's like you could be talking to a chick, y'all vibing for like 2 weeks. After a while, you like, yeah, I'm a curver. Because my man's at Gosa. You know Gosa, right?
Yes.
A Gosa for UB. He just made a video on TikTok about this. And it's so real. Like, right before you about to start talking to somebody, it just be a whole vibe. But like, yeah, I'm about to cut you off, shorty.
Or like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah, like you
know,
she
might have said something and it's like, oh, that's what you feel.
That's the worst.
This ain't gonna work.
That'd be the worst when it's like y'all vibing, it's a connection. It's like then you realize she just says something that just clicks in your head. Like, yo, you will never be it. And Like the most we gonna do is go out for dinner and vibe maybe, but like you're not an elite employee.
Yeah.
Like, you're not an elite employee.
You didn't make the team.
Yeah, this is not a banger. This is not a banger. Nah, that's the word. But dating overall has been fun though. Like how do I put it? I don't take dating seriously, but I don't try to. When I'm first dating women and meeting women, I don't go with the intention of like wanting something out of them or like she's gonna be my girlfriend. I'm just looking to get to know them, and if as I'm getting to know them, if I don't like what I see, or if they don't like what they don't see, you are free to leave. So I think because I have more of that relaxed mindset, it's easier for me to date because I don't have expectations on them, and I hope they don't have expectations of me, especially in the early stages. And not from a place of like you shouldn't move correctly, but I think when you're first getting to know someone, allow them to be them. If they're inconsistent texting, allow them to be inconsistent. They're showing you their patterns and behavior. Allow them to be comfortable enough to show them who they are. That way you can really make a decision like, yeah, if this is for you or not. So that's really my mentality with dating.
Okay. That's fair. I don't know. I feel like for me, when it comes to dating,
But most of the time, I be cool off dating though.
what do you mean by that?
Because think about it. If nowadays a lot of these dating connections are meaningless, doesn't really lead to nothing. Me being just a young man and working on building my future, that's a waste of money.
Dating is expensive, bro. You're gonna spend at least $200.
It's $200, and especially if you're a guy like me, where it's like you with me, you're not taking your wallet out because I'm paying for stuff. So it's like, nah, I mean, like that's not a good return on my investment. Nah, I'm good. Like, you feel me? Like, let me go take myself out to eat. You feel me?
Cause it don't be $200 when I gotta go eat.
Right, it definitely.
It don't be $200 when I gotta go eat. So what I
I know I'm not gonna get the hookah. I don't do hookah. I ain't about to get no hookah. I ain't about to be getting what do you call a lemon drop? You feel me?
Let me get a water. Let me get a water with ice.
A little cold water with a little ice.
I might get a drink like an amaretto sour.
You feel me?
Maybe I might do a Long Island if I'm trying to get crazy.
You feel me? That's pasado.
Yeah, just a little bit, but not like the whole bottle.
Yeah. So
with a gal, you gotta get the whole bottle.
Nah, I think not even a whole bottle. I think if you're a man, but this is another thing too. I don't believe in performative masculinity.
Talk about that.
So yes, as a man, you're dealing with a chick. Yeah, you better come correct and let her know that you are a man that takes care of business. However, do not allow that ego of you being a man supposed to take care of business. Allow her to manipulate you, or you to manipulate yourself into performative masculinity to win her over.
All right, so what is performative masculinity for those who may not know?
Performative masculinity is one, a man overstepping his position in what he should do as a man in forms of gestures to try and win the woman over. Because there's nothing wrong with the thing. Now here's the thing: you should be doing some acts of gestures to show the woman that this is where I'm at with you. However, once it starts becoming performative, it's not genuine. You're doing this to get a reaction out of her. You're doing this to win her over, rather than allowing your character and your essence and your aura as a dude and how you're coming to win her over. You're trying to use gestures and shiny ice bust down. You see me, I got a good job. Bro.
For why? For why?
Like, you feel me? You're doing a lot of theatrics to win her over, but the problem with theatrics is at the end of the day you gotta say and cut. That's the problem with theatrics. You gotta cut everything. You feel me? So it's like theatrics is never sustainable. And when she actually finds out that's not who you say you are, she's now even more turned off.
But I'll say this: a lot of men are not even trying to stay past the point that she's turned off. A lot of men are just doing the theatrics to get the buns, and then after that, they want to move on.
That's a whole different conversation. But if you got to do theatrics to get some ass, then I don't know, brother. That's
we gotta pray for you, King.
Yeah, we gotta pray for you. For me, you know, keep hope alive.
Yeah, it's tough out here in dating, and just being out in these streets, because it seems as if like a lot of women And a lot of people is period. They're just not serious people.
No, let's not put it on a woman. I'm tired of this.
Yeah, that's why I said a lot of people.
Yeah, let's not put it on a woman
not,
because this is a two-way street. We are both as a community are
just
not,
very unserious people.
We are as a community we're being unserious people. So let's not put it on a woman because at the end of the day, one thing about women, they're going off the energy you giving. So if you coming off trying to throw money like, yeah, baby girl, I got money, I got this, I got that, she gonna be like, okay, well, this bust down is 300. So where's this money you keep speaking of? If you lead with bread, you got to keep leading with bread.
Yep.
Whatever you start with, that's what you got to end with. So if you came in braggadocious and yeah, babe, we going to Loreto. Some of y'all don't know what Loreto is. We going to Loreto, Mexico. Like, we going to Ibiza. Like, you have to start with that. So you have to end with that. So I just feel as if like we as a community, and I'm going to speak to men. I don't want to speak to women. I let women speak to women, right? I'm going to speak to men. We as men need to do better. We need to have better self-respect for ourselves, because most of the time I think we don't have respect for ourselves when we approach women. Like another one. Why do you I have a problem with this. Why are you DMing a woman 10 times and she didn't respond?
Bro, what, men really be hitting women's DMs at bad times, bro. Serial killers.
No, because what made you look at the first, second, third, fourth, fifth text message and that DM and said, yo, this gonna be the one. This gonna be the one. Like, bro, like we just gotta have more self-respect for ourselves, because like that's another performative masculinity. Because certain men have been taught like, yo, like keep trying, like effort. Like effort only works when a woman wants you, bro. When a woman doesn't want you and you have effort, you know what that's called?
Being thirsty.
No, that's called harassment.
Same shit.
You feel me? That's called harassment. That's called a restraining order. So like, you feel me? I think like we as men just have to do a better job respecting ourselves, meaning that if she doesn't want you, respect yourself enough to go find someone else that does. Because I think what happens to us as men, we chase women that want aesthetics and get mad when they're choosing the aesthetic. Like you looking for wholesome, but you chasing aesthetic. How, Sway? Yeah, like that's like, did you not see her bio? Her bio said soft girl era.
Soft life. Baby gal.
Highlights is Tulum, Ibiza, places you didn't even know existed on Earth. And you work at T-Mobile. What are you doing?
You ain't busted. What are you doing? You ain't busted.
What? And then you open your dirty mouth and say, yo, all these girls want it. Shut up. You went for NBA level and you know you are G League. Nah, for real, bro. Like, we as men gotta do better. Like, cause we can't be the same way we tell these women, like, yo, you picking these horrible baby daddies. Us men gotta do, like, bro, you can't be picking these type of women and then nah, bro, we gonna call that out. You gotta keep it even across the board.
I love it, bro. I feel you. You ain't wrong. It's just weird. The whole vibe right now is just weird. Everyone is doing mad performative things.
It's performative, gang. Like, everything, like, for me, which is like, for me, like, I'm just like, I don't like when people do aesthetics. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying don't enjoy life. Chop and enjoy life. But if all you live is for aesthetics and trying to portray your life as a highlight reel, we don't go together. Mm-hmm. We cannot go together.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's tough out here, bro. My final question before I let you go. What are you doing to find the right woman? And has anybody slid in your DMs that made themselves the right woman? Yeah. I'm a vagabond.
Yo, he think he's slick.
I'm a vagabond.
He think he's slick. He said one more. Yo, that's some Drink Champs type of question. You get somebody turned. Like, yeah, so by the way, listen, I ain't got nobody in my DMs. I be cooling. Nah, honestly, what I'm really doing right now is just getting myself together, man. I'm not focusing on finding the woman. I'm focusing on getting myself together, getting my goals and aspirations together, because at the end of the day, a woman is a cultivator. So any woman that's by your side has to be able to cultivate what you're building, your vision. If you don't have any vision or don't have anything you're working on, what is she there for? Right? So for me, I'm just working on like what I have to do and things that I'm building and working on and myself as a man. And then I think through that I'm gonna attract the right person. But at the end of the day, I'm not even in a space where I'm looking for the right, like I'm not looking for anything. I'm just living life right now. I'm living life and building. You know? I think the right woman comes best when you're building.
I love that for you, bro. I'm happy for you, bro.
Thank you,
I feel I'm on the same place. Shout out to you being a director.
Not a director, but you know, I'm mad. So I'm not a director, but I manage the employer relations and talent strategy department.
That man is a director, bro. I don't want to hear it. He's about to be a director, if not this year, coming up by next year. He's
but
a director.
I've been doing some things. I got invited to a press conference for the mayor before the madness and all this craziness. You know, press conference, interviews, all that. So God's been moving. God's been working. So thank God.
I love that for you, bro. If people want to follow you, get connected with you, get some training from you, where can they go to do so?
Oh, well, you can hit me up on Instagram.
Okay, what's the Instagram?
Mr.Hefe__.
How do you spell Hefe?
Jefe, like in Spanish. That's Mr.Hefe__.
Okay, dope. Anything else that we need to know about that we didn't talk about today?
Nah, everything is everything. Join the movement _NYC. That is join the movement _NYC. We do a lot of different events. We provide food and refreshments. It's a huge networking scene. You could come through and show love. And yeah, thank y'all. We appreciate y'all rocking with us.
All right, and like I said, you tuned in Talk Ain't Cheap, and you know the slogan is not that deep. It's a vibe. Sir. Make sure y'all follow Talk Ain't Cheap on Instagram at Talk Ain't Cheap Network. The smell of the vibes, my bro. Before we go, what you thought about the immaculate scent candles?
Oh yeah, listen. You know, as my man Cletus said, everything immaculate. You know, I really liked the what? It was the
fire and demure.
The fire and demure. No, fire and cozy.
Okay.
It was fire and cozy. I really liked. Then it was demure. And yeah, those three right there. It was in that order: fire, cozy, then demure.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna make sure we get you some of those.
Oh yeah, please do. Like, we all about supporting black over here.
I love it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Talk Ain't Cheap, y'all. I know the slogan's not that deep. It's a vibe.
Peace.